Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining here at Unapologetically Progressive. Today we're going to talk about something that happened in the US Congress back on Wednesday of this week. So on Wednesday, the US House Judiciary Committee decided they would take up a bill or a motion to allow Donald Trump to have the sole discretion of who could and could not be deported as an American citizen. Let me repeat that again. They want to give Donald Trump the authority to deport U.S. citizens and give him the sole discretion on which U.S. citizens he could deport. Now, sure, that would cover criminals, but there again, without due process. Further, it kind of creates another constitutional crisis that Trump is already known for creating by sending U.S. citizens abroad against their will for committing a crime. We're supposed to be dealt with in the U.S. if we commit a crime. But the fact is, it goes beyond that because they gave him the sole discretion on who can be deported. Right? Which means anybody that Trump deems un-American or he deems a criminal could be deported. Political opponent comes up and says says something bad about him. Boom, deported. He doesn't like the trans community. Boom, community deported. And people keep telling me this could never happen here. But this is exactly kind of how it went with Hitler. Almost exactly how it went. Congress started abdicating, its version of Congress, Germany's version of Congress, the Reichstag, they started basically bowing down and kissing the ring until they voted away all their abilities to maintain any kind of order in their country. This is the beginning of that. This is the beginning of Congress abdicating its responsibility and giving all the power to one person. Remember the saying, absolute power corrupts absolutely. It's a very true statement. But if he ever gets this power, if this ever goes to the U.S. House, to the floor of the U.S. House and passes the Senate and he signs it, there's no saving this country after that. Because then all of a sudden he has the sole discretion to make any decision he wants. Because that's how he will see it anyway. This is absolutely un-American. It is absolutely disgusting. It's completely, no doubt to me, completely fascist in nature. There is no way that this should be allowed to happen. They shouldn't even be having the discussion in the first place. This is the United States. A government for, of, and by the people. Not by the person, by the people. That is what the United States is founded on. That is what the United States is supposed to be, forming a more perfect union of a government by, for, and of the American people. The founders of this country did not found this country with the idea of having a king. In fact, they debated having a leader at all. This is not what our founders envisioned. They did not support authoritarian rule. They may have supported a lot of terrible things, but they did not support authoritarian rule. That's what they were trying to get away from. They're trying to get away from a tyrant when they founded this country. And tell me how this is any different. Hitler was given the ability to deport the Jews out of Germany until he realized he had nowhere to put them. And then he started murdering them. And the fact is, this is just the beginning. I suggest calling your U.S. House representatives and demanding that they do not pass this. I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. You should see this as a threat to your own very existence. You should see this as a threat to our Constitution, a threat to our democracy, a threat to our republic, and a threat to our way of life here in the United States of America. At this point in time, we need everyone to stand together and say no, that we will not allow this. We will not give all the power to one person. We need to do that. We need to go and make sure that it's very clear that we, the people, do not support this, that we, the people, are the ones in charge, and not some, sycophant in the U.S. Congress that thinks Donald Trump is some God's gift to the world. I'm absolutely more ashamed of my country than I was even a week ago. I really hoped it would never happen. But I've been telling you on this channel that this was very possible, that Congress could very possibly abdicate their responsibilities, thus bringing an end to our balance of powers. And what you're seeing in this particular motion is an attempt, at least, by the Republican Party to end the American Republic, to end our checks and balances system, and to give all our power to one person. If you are opposed to that, please join me here on Unapologetically Progressive. If you support me in fighting this, call your congressman, write your congressman, your senators, your state legislator, your governors. Make it very clear that you do not support this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll see you down the road.